Hello, everyone. Peter Dennis here. Today, my guest is Bola Abimbola. Bola is a channeler. She's a healer. And I've come to meet her recently through Oracle, the website for channelers, or the other website, I should say. I have one as well. But Wenhu Sasana has a really impressive one. I invite everybody to take a good look at it. But Bola, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for the invite, Peter. It is such an honor to be here.
Now, I really didn't introduce you in a very formal or proper way, and I'm wondering if you could elaborate and just tell us a little about how you grew up, where you grew up, how you got to where you are here today.
Yes, thank you, Peter. It's always nice to meet someone who has actually come from a business background as well. Although my journey began as a medical student, I was in medical school and then I fell in love and I got married and I left medical school and then studied psychology. So, yes, business was something that I took on as another career. This is how life is a lot of the times. We have stepping stones, our passions change, and life, life really presents itself in different ways. So, yes, it's nice to meet another business passionate, someone else who's passionate about business. So, my spirituality started as a child, actually. I My dad was in hospital, and I went into his bedroom, and I saw him in his bedroom, and I thought to myself, Dad is home from hospital. But when my mother came back later that day, she said to me that my father had passed, and I said to her, No, he's in his bedroom. And she said, No, no, he's not in his bedroom. He is passed today in hospital. So the response she gave to me made me not really talk about this, but that's the very first experience that I had of spirit, of my gifts. And for many years, I could sense my father speaking to me. He would tell me to go here, to not stay in this place, to go up the stairs now into this room. It was more of a parent to me after he passed. Um, so I've always been very familiar with his voice. So I am clairaudient and I'm also clairvoyant. And I'm also clairsentient and claircognizant in that I can sense, I can also know, there's a knowing that comes. I can also see visions or even see things that are being done outside of me that are actually a message for me.
Mhm.
Because sometimes clairvoyance, we think it's only the visions that we see, but we can actually observe um, scenes or films or scenarios that are actually speaking to us in a particular way. And clairaudient is the hearing. So I've always had that for many years, but I didn't actually work with it until I started training as a Reiki practitioner.
Mhm.
So that was in 2016 that I trained up. And this was after years of um, my son, my first son. I am also a caregiver. So I have two sons who are neurodiverse. My first son, who couldn't sleep at night, and my brother recommended a Reiki practitioner to send him Reiki. And the impact that had on him got me to really train up.
Mhm.
Uh, Not immediately. I trained up about 10 years after my son had been receiving Reiki for many years.
Mhm.
But the impact of it slowly grew on me. But it's interesting that the resistance was there. There is such a resistance in our communities that stops us from really embodying these gifts that we all have. We all have a connection to spirit in a way that is not requiring any kind of intermediary.
Mhm.
And that is what energy healing gave to me. And it encouraged me to look into my gifts. And that's how I became a quantum Reiki practitioner.
Mhm. And from there, did you become a channeler fairly soon after?
Yes, yes. So the channeling began about 2020. I wrote a book, Daily Soul Bites, which talks about the different perspectives that we have as beings. We all have different perspectives within us, and the more mature we are, the more we are able to hold the multiple perspectives, and then we can allow those perspectives to be as we stay neutral and balanced. So, Daily Soul Bites is really activating an awareness of different perspectives, to accept these perspectives, that it's okay. It's okay to think of a lower perspective and a higher perspective, to actually be aware of those two perspectives around fear and also love, and to
Mhm.
know that those two perspectives exist within us, and it's all about what do we want to align to in this present time with consciousness. How do we consciously align based on what we are led to do, based on what feels right, but to not push any perspectives away? The acceptance of the two perspectives, and then holding those two perspectives from a place of neutrality. I mean, this is where our power lies. This is where infinite power lies, that place of
Mhm.
neutrality. The Daily Soul Bites I channeled, and because it happened so quickly in 2020 during that countdown, so I self-published it, but I wasn't aware of who I was channeling until
Mhm.
I joined Hukalo,
Mhm.
and that was where I realized that I was channeling the Aldorians. And at the time, it was the sixth dimensional Aldorians, who are from the planet Aldor, billions of galaxies away. They're far, far away, but they are beings who have been on Earth for about 3 years, and
Mhm.
they are really here to support the cultivation of a new sense of being, a new way of being, that stillness, to hold that place of peace within us, regardless of what is going on, regardless of what is going on. And it's really impacted my life, because with all the ups and downs that come, to be able to develop that sense of trust, that sense of resilience within us. That is what the Aldorians have done for me, in that in my day to day, they're with me. And there was the question that somebody asked me when I channeled that Hukalo. Something around this higher self that we all have. Is it something that we step into, or is it something that we live with on a day to day? Can
Mhm.
Because a time as we develop our spiritual prowess, we find that the higher self feels like it's stepping in and out of us. So there are times when the higher self is seems disconnected, and there are times when we feel like it's driving us.
Mhm.
Because there are times when the ego self is in full charge, is
Mhm.
driving all our experiences and interactions. And then there are times when we feel that the higher self is the one driving. And at those times, we feel a bit more peace, a bit more neutrality, and definitely not stressed, not burnout, not exhausted, because those are all characteristics of that physical ego being. So, what the Adorians have done for me, and what I know they are helping my clients to do, is to allow that higher self to be sustained throughout the day, at every moment, allowing
Mhm.
ourselves to surrender more and more, allowing that physical ego part, which is a part of us, allowing that physical ego self to surrender throughout the day. And it takes healing, it's a journey, but we get the support. We get the support from our guides and from the tools that we work with, the modalities that we work with, that allow us to really integrate those parts of us to a place of surrender, a place of trust, to that higher self. So Yes, I started out with the Aldorians, but now I have a number of other beings that
Mhm.
tell me they are with me when I'm doing my healing sessions, when I'm channeling. Metatron is also being very, and it's interesting because um, I had an interest in Metatron, and I would read about Metatron, but I did not think that I was connected in that way. But then I realized that the very fact that I'm showing an interest
Yep.
in Metatron is a sign that I was being called to become more aware of that connection. Um, so, yes, Metatron, the Aldorians, the Council of Light is my most recent um, connection. And they usually do feel very light, very, very, very brisk, within my stomach. I feel that sensation within my stomach, and also Archangel Michael, um, and the Pleiadians, the Syrians. There is a connection, and there are some other ascended masters that I have had show up in my sessions, one here, one there. So, but now I really just consider all of them to be part of my higher self, and they will they will announce any particular being will announce their presence whilst I'm channeling or whilst I'm doing my healing sessions. But yes, so that's really my journey as well as my channeling experience.
Yes. Well, before we started this recording, you told me that these days you're channeling your higher self generally first. But if a topic or question comes up that might be better addressed by one of the others who you channel, they're usually very quick to respond and to come in through you. So I'm looking forward to this, to meeting your higher self, who may be somewhat of a moderator here, refereeing these other beings. We'll see how that goes, I guess. But are you ready to? Well, no, you're going to bring in the Andorians to do a little light language first. Am I
Mhm,
correct? Yeah, good. And then bring in your higher self, and I'll take it from there.
mhm, mhm. Okay, let me just drink some water first.
Absolutely.
Get myself
As well.
really.
Yeah. You mentioned so many things here that prompted questions in my mind, but do have a bit of an agenda here. So we'll move it along, and maybe one other day we'll have an opportunity to pursue some of these things. But yes, please go ahead.
Okay, we are the Aldorians, the 10th dimensional Aldorians, here to support you to live in a new way, a new sense of being. Katiri mukutara karasuturu mukretiri, krusuturu mukatara sataraka, krusuturu mushuturu katara siterisi, kratiri masuturu kashatara makatara, krusuturu mushuturusa, kratiri musakatara suturushu, pretere makatara suturushu, prekitira satara suturu, krematara makiri suturu, krushuturu makatara, sitara mashuturu. Cling on to yourself. Cling on to the self that is full of love. You will know. You will know what you need to do when you realize that you have all the wisdom that you need within you. There's so much wisdom within you. You need to seek that self that has the wisdom. There are parts of you that will allow you to resist this self, but you want to hold on and cling to it. You have to have a desire for it. You have to have a thirst for it, because it will not come unless you have a thirst for it. So cling to the self that will give you the wisdom that you already have. And so it is.
Thank you for that message. And thank you for the light language.
You're welcome.
Would Bola's higher self like to come in at this time?
This is the Council of Light.
Council, welcome, and thank you for being here. We weren't sure who was going to come through. Bola's pretty talented and can bring in quite a few. Council, would you be good enough to explain a little of what you are and why it is that you're channeling through Bola these days?
We are beings of the feminine energy. We are beings of the divine feminine energy. We hold the wisdom of the nurturer, of the cultivator, the wisdom of mothers, the wisdom of fathers. It is important for the world to embrace this. Whatever gender you are, we are here for you. We are the Council of Light.
Mm-hmm. It sounds to me as though what you are here to do aligns quite closely with what Mary Magdalene and perhaps Mother Mary are also doing, bringing in feminine energy and assisting women in particular. Am I correct?
We are here for all beings.
Mm-hmm.
All beings. There is the masculine energy and the feminine energy in all beings. Women have both energies, and so do men. We are here to activate that feminine energy in all beings. Whether you have children, whether you are a teenager, whether you are late in years, the feminine energy within you is where you will find rest, is where you will find that stillness that will nurture you. You will need a lot more of that in this time.
Mm-hmm.
All beings will need that. That is what we're here to do.
If I understand it, a male who may have grown up in the ways of men, played contact sports and that sort of thing, when your influence impacts that man, what changes could he expect to encounter?
There is a sense of competition
Mm-hmm.
that all men have been led to believe is the way to lead. You lead by comparing yourself to others. You lead by being ahead of others. You lead by being the only one in the front and everybody behind you. This is the masculine, the wounded masculine. The divine masculine is very similar to the divine feminine. But the divine feminine is something that all men, all male, all women need to embrace a lot more of. That is what we are here to do. When the men in your society, when they begin to embrace this divine feminine, They will lead with care. They will lead with a sense of being led from within. They will not need the validation from the outside. They will lead with a conscious desire that all those they lead will become leaders as well. They will lead from the front, but they will lead in a circle. It will not be a line where they're in the front. Everybody will sit at the table and everybody will speak and everybody will be regarded and it will be a team and everyone will have a gift and each gift will be recognized. This is how you expand consciousness. Consciousness is thirsty for more. The more of you that can come together to share your gifts, to regard yourselves as equals, even if one person is the inspirer, the more expansive consciousness will be. This will be the difference.
Mhm.
When you embody the divine feminine, you will allow everyone on the table to share their ideas, their insights, and they will regard you as the leader because they share the same vision as you, because you understand them and you have explained that vision that they are all signing up to. This is the leader. You hold the vision that everybody signs up to and shares their insights. It is not about competition. It is about inspiration.
Do you see women taking on more of the divine masculine?
They already are.
Mm.
They already are.
Mhm. I understand in ancient human history, the planet was led by women, and then some major changes came to the planet. And I guess out of necessity or something, men seemed to take over. You might say it was a male dominated humanity. And I guess we could sort of say a pendulum seems to be swinging from extreme maleness to something that embodies both the divine female, the divine male. I'm wondering if that pendulum is going to swing maybe past the point of equilibrium, and maybe the women will, in a sense, be in charge again.
There will be different timelines. There will be some timelines where things will not change very much. And there will be some timelines when the masculine energies will continue to thrive and subdue the value of the divine feminine.
Mm.
There will be timelines where the divine feminine will be considered the only way to go. And there will be some timelines where there will be balance. These timelines where there will be balance will be the timelines of the highest light. This is what we have come to do.
Mhm.
We have come to encourage that balance. It is not about one or the other, but we will support those who have had to bury their feminine energies, who have had to subdue those parts of them that encourage them to nurture, to soften, to rest.
Mhm.
This is the place where we will find a lot of us have a deficit. The moment we begin to express those parts of you, the moment that these begins to happen, you will find yourself in the highest frequency of timelines.
Mhm. They will be among the first to, as we would say, ascend to the fifth dimension of consciousness. Would that be correct?
The fifth dimension of consciousness is spirit level.
Mm.
The third dimension is the levels where you are at this point. As you rise in consciousness, as you heal, as you integrate, as you cling to the higher self, you will find yourself in the fourth dimensions. And this is all about frequency of vibration. Your energy levels will vibrate higher. You will still be physical in the fourth dimension. The spirit, that higher self, is in fifth dimension.
Mm.
You do not become a fifth dimensional being on the planet. You
Okay.
do pass. So you will vibrate at higher frequencies in fourth density,
Mm.
and your spirit will communicate with you from the fifth density.
Thank you for that clarification. That's very helpful. Um, as your mission then is to bring more of the divine feminine to humanity, what specific steps are you taking to make that happen?
This council is a council of women. This council is that feminine embodiment, and there are beings around each and every one of you who will support you to embody more of the feminine.
Okay.
And we are doing that now. We are channeling our love, our support, our insights through a number of beings. It is not always conscious. We channel our love through words, through deeds, through light, through the sun. There is a lot that is going on all over the world. And this is something that is not limited to a section of the earth. We are all over the earth, ensuring that those who are ready to expand that feminine energy within them, will receive it. All they have to do is ask.
Good. Thank you. I have one eye on the clock here, and I'm wondering, before we wrap up, if there is a final word that you would have, perhaps for all of humanity at this time. And if not, maybe for either the men or the women, or maybe you can do both.
Hmm. There is a need for the physical body to be healed. This is the first place to start. For those of you who want to expand, you must not forget your body. That physical body needs to heal first. It is only when the physical body is able to receive more light that we can begin to support you. You
Mm.
will heal mind, body, spirit. You will heal your mind from a place of beliefs to a place of knowing. When you let go of your beliefs and you know, that knowing is the wisdom from your higher self. you will also heal your body to a place of ease, to a place of calm, to a place of regulation. This will allow more light from your energy field to come into your body to regulate your emotions. Start from the body and the mind. And that is where your spiritual evolution lies. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very helpful message. I think sometimes we get caught up in spirituality and we go a little overboard. And yeah, let's step back and realize we are here in a body for good reason and have to take care of that body. Thank you very much, Council. This was wonderful. And I thank you, and I'm sure we'll be in touch again sometime soon, I hope. Thank you very much for this today. Many blessings to you.
Thank you.
Bola, you just take your time and come on back.
Thank you. My
Oh.
goodness. Yes. Writer here.
Yeah, well, I thought I was going to be talking to your higher self, but they came through very nicely and had a great message. Or messages, really. Yeah. How do you feel after that? Are you energized or do you feel a little tired? Some channelers say
I
I'm
feel
really,
like it's supposed to be 9 o'clock here in London, but it feels like it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Everywhere is sunny,
ah,
very light.
well,
It's
that's
lovely.
good.
Very energized. Very energized.
That's good to know. Yeah. Well, Bola, I know our audience would like to, in some cases, get in touch with you, and I'm wondering what the best way for them to do that would be. I'm going to put your contact information at the end of this on a screen, but tell us how you would like people to get in touch with you.
Yes, I do quantum Reiki energy sessions here in London, online, distant energy healing sessions. And you can reach me on my website, www.soulspacehealing.com. I'm also on Amazon with my book, Daily Soul Bites, and also in Barber Press website. The book was published by Barber Press, a division of Ahab. So I'm also on their website, Daily Soul Bites for an Inspired Life by Bola Abimbola. So that's how you can reach me.
Good. Well, Bola, thank you very much for doing this today. This was wonderful. And it's not every day there's another MBA speaking to this MBA. That was a bit of a grind, as I recall. But there is another channeler who's an MBA as well, and who I've been working with. So yeah, business is very much a part of the third dimension, and we're here to enjoy the fruits of this dimension, and business is a great vehicle for doing that.
It
Yeah.
is important to embrace it because spirituality doesn't always embrace business, doesn't always, allow that synergy, because as you become a spiritual coach or a healer, you are less embroiled with that physical experiences. You are less inclined to want to know how Facebook ads work, or how websites work, or how to set up your email sequence. You're just less inclined to. It's not that you will not do it, but it's sometimes something that we feel far removed from. But when you have that business training, you totally understand. Even if there's a bit of a resistance, you
Mhm.
are more inclined towards it. So it's, for me, it's been extremely beautiful to actually have, very useful to actually have that training. So I took off with my business quite quickly when I started. So yes, it has been a benefit for me to actually have that business understanding, my 4 P's or 4 E's, as they say, making sure that I'm promoting as well as marketing, as well as engaging the audience, and the price and making sure you have an offer, and all of that business goes with our work as spiritual healers and leaders.
Yes, indeed. Well said. Again, thank you very much. And we'll be in touch. We're going to do some videos. But bye for now, and see you soon.
Thanks, Peter.